Hello everyone and welcome to your computing lesson for today. So we have been looking at digital writing and we started that last week, and with digital writing the main component that we are looking at is the keyboard. So today we're going to look at different aspects of the keyboard again and how we can use those different features to help us create writing on technology. Okay, so whether you're using a laptop or a desktop computer or a tablet, we can create digital writing on all of those devices. So, lesson 2. Today we are going to be focusing on adding and removing text. Okay, and here are some of the keywords that we're going to be using today. So, a word processor, so that is the program that we use to create our digital writing. We're going to be using Microsoft Word as our word processor for today. We also have the word keyboard. Hopefully you know what a keyboard is by now. It is the part of the laptop or the desktop computer that enables us to create text onto our word processor. We have the keys. Now the keys are the individual buttons on the keyboard, and you were looking at some of those keys last week. Letters and numbers, obviously we all know what those are, but those will be located on the keyboard for you to use. Today we're going to be looking at the space bar, the backspace button, the backspace key, the text cursor, and we're going to be using Microsoft Word to have a go at some digital writing for today. Okay, so here I have a keyboard in front of me and I want to write the word cat and then I'm going to write the word dog. Okay, so watch me do that. K, a, t. There's cat, and now I'm going to type the word dog. D, o, g, dog. Oh, can you see what I've done? I wanted two separate words, cat and then dog. But when I've typed it, it's come up as one word. Just pause the video for a second here. Do you know what I have done or what I haven't done? How could I make cat and dog two separate words? So pause the video here and think about how could I make those two separate words. Okay, so hopefully you said that, Miss Kelly, you needed to put a space in between those two words. We would use a finger space when we are writing words down, and we also need to make sure that we use spaces in between our words when we are writing digitally as well. Okay, so once again, I've got a blank keyboard in front of me. Can you find the space key on this keyboard, or you can use the keyboard in front of you if you have one? Can you locate the space key? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, don't worry if you didn't know where the space key was because we're just about to find out. There we go. So near the bottom of your keyboard, there is a long bar, okay, and that is called the space key. Okay, some people call it the space bar, okay, because it's shaped like a bar. And that will enable you to create spaces in between your words when you are writing digitally. Okay, so here I've got a teddy bear called Ted, and I can use the keys on the keyboard and the finger spaces to create words, okay, and I can put those words together to create sentences, okay. So here we have put some adjectives about Ted, okay, and then here I've put Ted has and then something fur. So by being able to use that space key, okay, I can make my sentences more descriptive. I can include more words, more adjectives, more detail. Okay, now if I wanted to move on to a new line when I'm writing digitally, does anybody know what key would I have to use to go onto a new line? Now, when we are writing on paper, I can just move my hand and my pencil to a new line. But how can I do that on a computer. So have a look around the keyboard, or have a look around the keyboard that you are using at home. Do you know which key would allow you to move onto a new line? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this button here, this key here, the return key, would allow you to move onto a new line. And can you see that the arrow is starting up here, and then it's saying that it's going to move down and across like it's going to a new line. So this is called the return key, okay, and that will enable you to move onto a new line. Sometimes it has the word enter written above it, okay, the enter key, okay, and that will allow you to move onto a new line. Okay, now, sometimes, as we do when we are writing on paper, we might make a mistake when we are typing, okay, and we will need to get rid of that mistake, just like we do when we're writing on paper. Now, to be able to delete what you have done on a computer, we call it the backspace key. And this is the backspace key up here. It's got an arrow, okay, and it will get rid of any mistake that you have made if you press that button, that key, sorry. Okay, so this key here is called the backspace key, and that allows us to go back to our digital writing and remove a mistake that we have made, just like so. Okay. So, once I've finished, you need to open up Microsoft Word or a word processor. I'm going to use Microsoft Word, and I think most of you will probably have Microsoft Word at home too. Okay, once you have got yourself onto Microsoft Word, what I would like you to do is I would like you to have a practice at using the keys on the keyboard to write a few sentences about yourself. Okay, so remember today we've learnt about the space key, which allows us to create finger spaces between our words. We have talked about the enter key, which allows us to move onto a new line. And we've also talked about the backspace key, which allows us to get rid of any mistakes. So I'm going to show you how we can use those keys to create sentences. I'm going to write the sentence, my name is Miss Kelly. So M-Y spells my. Now I'm going to use the finger space key, the space bar, to create a space. Did you see that? Let me try again. So here's my cursor. A cursor shows you where you are on your page. Okay, now if I press the space key, there we go. My name, space bar, space key, is space is Miss Kelly. Kelly. Oh, I think I've made a mistake. What mistake have I made? That's right, I didn't include a space after Miss. Miss Kelly is not one word, it is two separate words. Miss and then Kelly. So I'm going to use my cursor and I'm going to click where I want my space to go. Okay, now I want to go onto a new line, so I'm going to press my enter key. Wait and see what happens. There we go. Did you see what happened? My cursor went from here and it jumped down to the next line. Okay, I'm going to write a little bit about myself. I have light brown hair. Can you see that I used the space bar to create spaces in between my words? I'm going to press the return key again, and I'm going to write something else about myself. I like to read. Oh, oops. I like to reading. Doesn't make any sense, Miss Kelly. What key could I use to get rid of my mistake, Year 1? That's right, I could use my backspace key. So can you see my cursor is showing me where I am? Now I don't want to get rid of all of my word. I just want to change it from reading to read. So I'm going to put my cursor next to my G and I'm going to press my backspace button. Perfect. I like to read. So I have shown you how we can use the space bar, the space key, to create finger spaces. I have shown you how we can use the enter key to move on to a new line. And I've shown you how to use the backspace key if we make a mistake. So on your Word document, I would like you to write a few sentences about yourself. Practice using the space bar, the enter key to move on to a new line, and the backspace key to make a mistake. Take a photo of your digital writing for today and send it to me on Class Dojo. All you need to do is create a few sentences about yourself. Okay? Thank you, Year 1, and I look forward to seeing your digital writing on Dojo a bit later. Thank you.